Well, it looks like Russia is further stoking the tensions here between the U.S. with talks of nuclear war. And really, this is taking talks between Moscow and the United States to its lowest point since the Cold War. Now, some could say this is a lot of saber rattling, so to speak. We've seen moves like this well, I'm not going to say exactly like this because we've never seen 40 million people get moved like they just did recently. And then they called all their officials back to Russia, students back from universities, told them to not even finish the school year. And now Russian television warning of nuclear war amid these tensions, with Putin recently stating that they could strike up war in multiple different fronts. Now, I've talked before about pipelines being a target within Syria and other places. You've seen here recently just what the little gas shortage did in the United States. See, there was a sabotage. Something like that, not just in the United States, but any country, could cripple it. And when I think of tactics, dirty tactics of war, on not the nuclear level, just enough to bring a country to its knees, that's all that would be needed. And what better time to come in and take over a country or attack a country than when they're in their own civil war? It seems to me that the climate in this country seems to be just that. It seems they're propping up the Pied Piper, that they call it, in Trump. All these leaks coming out, the mainstream not picking up none of it. They continue to slander Trump. It's just one thing after another. There's supposed to be footage of this, footage of that, and then it's just going to be one thing after another to tear him down. You should have seen this coming, especially after George Soros had stated, oh yeah, he's going to win the popular vote by a landslide. But when it comes to the electoral vote and those that are paid, that was out of his own mouth. He said no doubt Hillary would win it. And that's exactly who he is backing. And at this point, they want to blame everything that goes down on Russia. No doubt Russia's done some hacking. Don't get it twisted. They are experts in this field, along with the Mossad, that are pulling strings behind the curtain. On this world stage, though, it seems that, well, at least in Russia, they're really wanting the people to be in the state of mind that war could pop off at any moment. And not just any war, they're saying nuclear war. And that's big time. Just think about this. What would it be like if here in this country 40 million or more just participated in a massive drill where we all moved from where we were at and located to bunkers and everything else? It's a massive feat. How would it feel if all of a sudden Obama was calling officials back from all across the globe, out of every country? You see? And then what if they were blasting on the news and the mainstream constantly? Nuclear war is imminent. And there is the constant fear-mongering. But when it comes to that, the only ones that are falling victim to that term are those that are fearing it. There's nothing to fear here. Most people should be damn angry at what's happening. And you should always have a plan. You should always have a plan. It's, in my opinion, on this world stage, it's a play on the minds of the people, and that all these world leaders have sold us all out. And the end game goal, I do believe, in this country is to turn the people on one another, or to have a massive revolt where the people will lash back at the establishment. Give the system an excuse to start to break down, and then couple that with some attacks, and really look at the Gulf of Tonkin. Look at Pearl Harbor, 9/11. The next event, in my opinion, will fall right along those same lines here in America. They can blame it on whoever. They always do. They've always got someone to point the finger at. But in the end, you know who it is that really does it. This once again makes me think of that Chinese rover picture that has a massive mushroom cloud in the area of Ukraine, Moscow. And with all this heated talk and tension here, I'm not so sure how much further they can go back and forth here without some kind of exchange. At this point, the fact that Russian troops and American troops out there, well, how could you even say that at this point? It couldn't be that, because it would have to be the militants that they're supplying that is battling the Russian troops. And see, this is where the whole thing starts to fall apart. This is where, if anyone that's paying attention starts to see exactly who created the boogeyman. But I will talk more about this tomorrow night. Underground World News Live, 8 p.m. Eastern, over on Dabu 777. Also, make sure that you're following me on Twitter, and make sure to check out my J Night channel. I'm going to start live streaming events from the streets more and more on that channel. Start utilizing it more and more. And also make sure to check out our recent sponsor here, the Essential Drug Store. You guys can go through them for all your medical needs, prescription free, and I will leave links for all of this in the description box. Much love, y'all.